Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SGL Broadcasting. Pitch Black Eye Tie here. I'm joined with Astrock, my co-commentator for the afternoon, for this LN versus AoA game. It is Sunday, July the 10th, 2011, SGL matchup between AoA and LN. Great game, well played by both groups, I will say. AoA took it. AoA took it rather quickly, actually, and they needed this to put themselves into a good seed position for the finals. I'm joined here with Dark Evil, Drew, Endo, who else? Launchpad's here from AoA, and I think that's about it for AoA, right? We don't count. We've got Berserk as well. And on the LN team, we've got In Control, and who else?
Just me, baby.
All right. Well, you're the. Okay. Game went. Just quick recap. AoA pushed very, very hard into the base. First couple of caps ended up doing the first initial battle that we normally see midfield low. That first initial battle was actually deep in green base low. LN was on the green team, by the way. AoA was holding down the red. So that happened twice, and then LN decided to position themselves a little bit better at the beginning, more into the middle. We were commenting on that a little bit, so we'll get to that in a moment. But all in all, AoA just, seemed to dominate here. In Control, let's hear from the losing team first of all. In Control, you're going to speak for LN, obviously. How'd you think you guys played, and did you see areas of improvement where you guys could have done a lot better?
We played our best, the best of our ability, with the experience that we have playing together. As far as areas of improvement, that's too long of a list to really note at this point, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. We gave it our best, and AoA gave us a good fight.
All right, good stuff. Let me ask you, if you're familiar of the sort of strategy that you guys were playing out, why did you guys choose at the very beginning to give up that space in the center and pull it back to your... I am very curious.
I don't particularly remember that. Could you tell me who... Was I mid?
Astrock, who exactly was it that was pulling back on the back, or on the...
I know at least one of the instances it was Wave. I think In Control is actually up top for the beginning.
Okay. As far as Wave is concerned, he's a very passive player. That's pretty much what he relies on. So as far as positioning goes for Wave, he doesn't really capitalize on that. He'll just back up instead of giving good crossfire, and he'll leave some of our teammates in terrible positions to do that. Now, I don't want to bad talk Wave. That's just kind of how his play style is.
Gotcha. And maybe as a result of a little bit of inexperience.
I'm not sure of his league experience, but I'm sure that has something to do with it, yes. We're all pretty inexperienced as far as league goes.
Now, Endo made a point there on the chat channel suggesting that it was good spawns. And, I'd like to think so, but because it was fresh out of the gate, I don't think you can really calibrate it to that. Well, you know what? You guys, as you said, you did your best. You played your heart out, and you gained some experience in league play going up against a team that, just sort of outgunned you. And that's part of the game. You got to walk before, or you got to crawl before you walk, so to
100%.
There we go. Well, you're doing an awesome job, and got to give you credit for showing up to every single game so far. We haven't seen a forfeit by you guys, and that says a lot to the heart that you're bringing to the league. AoA, let's talk to you guys. Launchpad, I want to ask you a question first of all. The last two games, your legouts have created a very difficult position. You were in the middle of a flag run, or about to pick up a flag run this game. Yesterday, you were about to save yourselves from a flag cap, which would have been essential. What's going through your mind?
Yesterday, I hurled a drink across my room on my wall.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty heated. That was a pretty important game for us yesterday. It's just something that I'm gonna have to try to fix, and until then, it's just a bad situation for us, and I'm gonna have to limit my playing time because of it.
Well, there you go. So how do you think your team is doing so far in this matchup? Regardless of this particular game, we'll get to that in a second, but how do you feel your team is doing in the matchup? Are you proud of them? Are you happy with the improvements you've seen?
I'm definitely happy with them. I think we've got a lot of younger guys who haven't played a lot of league games, so it's good to give them some experience, and I think that's starting to pay off the further we get into this SGL season. Guys like Dark Evil and even Mista and Berserk haven't played that much, don't have a lot of experience in these league games, so the more you can play them, the better you're going to get.
Excellent point. What about the rest of you guys as far as how the game goes? Any particular plays that stood out to you guys? Any mistakes that you personally made that you'd like to, recognize? And Drew, let's hear from you.
Nothing really comes to mind. We played pretty solid the entire game. In control was actually very hard to kill. I feel like he was the only person on the other team kind of holding them all together. I mean, he, up close, he'd wiggle like a madman, like an earthworm on crack. He's just wiggling around everywhere. So hard to kill. But when he did die, it seemed like we were able to be pretty aggressive and take advantage of our positioning. And they put up a good fight, but we were just too strong for them.
Now, speaking of positioning, what did you guys think of the positioning? Drew, I know that you were one of the people down on the low end who was pushing in. I believe it was yourself and Launchpad down on the low end pushing in, where they just gave you all the space. Were you kind of jumping up and down for joy when they...
I was pitched. I love to rush in. I love it so much. It's my play style, and that's like my strength. So I was able to play to it that game. So I was really happy.
I think it helps that Drew and I have played a lot together, so we kind of can read each other's minds, and we have that trust factor where we can kind of push low and know we can keep an eye on what's going on and not really overcommit ourselves, but at the same time take advantage of that position.
Excellent. Well, it definitely paid off here. Any other questions? Asterisk, do you have any questions for LN or...
Not about the game specifically, but I am curious for AoA who you feel your top line is. Because, as mentioned in the game, I like the mix that you brought with that lineup today. And I was just wondering if you consider that your top line or what you would consider it.
Zyrus played today, and he played extremely well. I noticed a lot of situations that he survived that I wouldn't even have survived. So he played really, really well. As far as the top line goes, Zyrus doesn't play very much, so it's hard to know where he fits in. I think 7 is probably in our top line. He hasn't shown up recently, but Launchpad would probably know more.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty set top 3 with me and 7 and Drew. And then we've kind of been plugging different people into that 4 spot and, seeing what different playing styles work, kind of playing some matchups depending on what clan we're going against, whether we want offense or a little more defense. But our 4th really isn't set, which should be a motivating factor to my clanmates that are listening.
Definitely. And yeah, 7's certainly one of the fragging powerhouses of AoA, so he should be in there.
All right. Any other questions from the community before I move into a key point that I want to discuss? Actually, community, go ahead and think about some of those questions that you want to ask for either the LN lineup or the AoA lineup. AoA, you guys are at a pinnacle point right now. You lost to MM yesterday, and I'm sure you were extremely or to iLogic. So you lost to iLogic yesterday, and that set you back quite a ways behind MM and iLogic for that 4th seed spot. MM has just forfeited a game today, which puts you guys in a prime position, 1 point behind MM, to really pull out all the stops and see what you can do to take this league and get yourselves a playoff spot. What's going through your mind when you hear? Are you guys excited that you're back in the game? You've got the chance. It's almost like that Proline commercial. Anything can happen. Anyone can win.
MM forfeited.
MM.
Sweet mother of Jesus.
So they're now sitting at 9 points to iLogic's 11, and you guys are sitting at 8 points.
That's pretty awesome. I still think, though, that we're going to have to pull up some upsets. I know we play Cat maybe twice coming out. I mean, there's still a lot of games left in the season, but we definitely need to start winning against some of the top 4 or 5 clans if we want a shot. I think we can, though, so it's definitely doable, and it's in sight. We're going to do it.
Okay, well, let's look at Week 5 schedule, because I want your opinion here. I love the attitude. You're going to do it. Next week at 5 o'clock, you guys are going up against CADF. It's going to be really tough. I'd love to see you guys pull out an upset. I'm an underdog rooter all the way. On the Sunday game, 9-inch nipples, good or bad?
If they show up?
Like, are they going to show up? That's the question. I don't know. But if they do, I'm pretty sure we're going to win. CADF will, of course, be a tough game, but I'm pretty sure our clan is ready what's going to be thrown at us. So we'll be ready and we'll put up a fight.
All right. The following week, Week 6, you guys are playing your first game against SA. 5 o'clock p.m. game, AoA versus SA. They've got the home team advantage. You guys should be able to take that.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have too much difficulties. Your second game of that week is going to be against MM. How are you going to try and dominate MM there?
If Ella shows up, we got that game. No, I'm joking. But I think for sure, the top lineup, up until the 6th week, we keep practicing because we need to work on our teamwork more. We can definitely put up a fight.
I think that game is clearly going to define that 4th playoff spot now that MM forfeited today. We thought we were going to be battling iLogic for that 4th spot, and now it kind of looks like it's going to be MM instead.
I think that's really the game that's going to make it. It'd be nice. Well, no, I can't even say that. iLogic has a pretty tough line. I think you might have a much better shot versus MM than iLogic if they bring their top lineup. But as it stands, you guys are prepared for it. Launchpad, you better get your butt on the phone to your internet service provider or find an extra service or something. Go to a library. I don't know what you're going to do, but I think your team would love to see you in that game.
Yeah, I guess I've got 2 weeks to get this situated here.
Hey, preparation, my friend. Any other questions from the community before we end up closing this out?
Does someone want to explain to me what the hell happened when they played versus iLogic yesterday? Because looking at the lineups, you guys should have maybe took that game. So
we don't talk about that.
what happened?
We did not talk about the past.
No, the question's out there. Someone's got to give them an answer.
I just feel like we kind of knew we had the game in the bag to start with. We lost the first cap pretty easily. The second one was bullshit, and then we make a change somewhere. I don't know what happened, but we got our teamwork back together and hurry up and got a flag. And then we just felt so confident in the moment we could get this second one. And time is running out, so I think we just freaked out a little bit. Just lost possession, and then it cost us the game.
Sebek, I want to be honest with you. I played for like 12 years now. That was the weirdest league game I've ever played in because we dominated them fragging-wise, better positioning, but they came out on top like 3-1. So it was very weird. Just like they just got, we got worse. We got the worst spawns ever, and it was a weird game. So it's hard to explain.
And outside connection issues, which cost us the second flag.
It did. I mean, we spoke. You guys actually didn't really join that much during the interview yesterday. Launchpad, I would have loved to have seen you there. Frankly, as much as we were talking about luck versus not luck, I think your lag out was just, of that one particular lag out was such a bad luck experience, and I really think it threw your momentum off. Agree or disagree with me, but it was just such a bad timing. I really think that Launchpad had the opportunity to take out the flagger, and at least buy his team some more time. What was going through your mind on that particular play? Is that the one you threw the drink again?
That is the one I threw.
You knew you had it, didn't you?
Yeah, I had actually just spawned. I was full, and I was stopping their flagger. I'm trying to remember who it was. Maybe it was Dream.
It was Gar.
Probably Gar.
Yeah, it's Gar.
Yeah, and we had a 2-versus-1 in our base stopping him from flagging, and it was really nothing, He didn't have much of a chance of getting it out of there, and I was full of health and pinged out, and by the time I came back in, they had capped the flag.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Could not have been worse timing.
I agree. Well, guys, you're playing an awesome game. I have to say, it's very exciting to watch you guys every single time. I'd have to put it up against CADF and V as far as excitement level goes. You guys are definitely showing us what you're made of. So we appreciate you guys showing up to every game, all the support that you guys have given. LN, sorry we've taken a little bit of your thunder away, but you guys are doing great as well. High five to everybody, and thanks again to all the community for supporting SGL, supporting the broadcasting, supporting everything about Spark. We really appreciate it. Before I close this off, I want to post a little bit of an invite to Drew and the AoA team. I would like to get a clan interview with just you guys, just AoA, kind of get a little history, see what you're all about, what your recruiting strategies are, kind of get a little bit of background on the players. So if you guys want to do that right after this interview, I would love to do that. As for me, I'm saying goodnight to everybody else from Spark Broadcasting. Thank you very much to Asrock for helping me commentate that game. Cheers and have a great night.